there is a fifth dimension, beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.
We're back.
Hey, everybody. Purple Pill Podcast.
It's back.
It's a Purple Pill Show. I am the code. I am the code, and this is the co-host, Tim Botdos.
That's me.
Tim Botdos. There he is. This is the show where we suspend our beliefs on what was and what is, and we use our imagination on what is and what could be in order to transcend the matrix, hack the 3D, and finally exit the Truman Show. There it is. How we doing, buddy?
Good, man.
Good.
Feeling it.
We're doing really good. We're gonna finish the episode.
We don't even clear our voices before we just hit record it.
We start coughing. We start coughing.
I love it. I love it.
So we're going to finish the episode we were supposed to finish.
Right.
I think I told everybody that it was the title of the episode last time was Spiritual Evolution, but that's the title of this episode.
That episode evolved into something else.
Harvesting energy.
Right.
The 3D always trying to get you stressed out. Get you off the pathway, off the yellow.
Stress is the number one killer.
I think that's the one that leads to the unbelief.
Kills more people than fentanyl.
All sickness starts in the mind, and then the stress is what comes from that.
Right.
And then you start writing tickets. You start paying tickets that the universe wrote you. Right. That's the way that works.
What is that scripture? As a man thinketh, so is he.
Yeah.
Right.
So we're gonna start off.
If you
here.
think in stress, you're stressed out.
You're stressed.
You're stressed out.
I'm getting stressed out just thinking about stress. Stress is a killer. Isn't that what it says?
Yeah.
That's what everyone says.
Pretty sure that's in the Bible.
It's the killer. Stress is the killer. Well, it says do not fear. And it says do not worry.
Right.
And it says all these things, and we just don't do any of them. We're fearful. We're worried.
We're stressed out.
And that's Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
There goes my voice again.
Yeah.
Let me crack a soda. That'll help me.
Yeah.
Maybe water. We don't have that though.
All right, here we go.
Let's get the.
What is the title of this one?
I just told you, Spiritual Evolution.
Okay.
The title of the episode.
All right.
But first, we're gonna start off, and then we're gonna go down a rabbit hole. We're never gonna get to the subject.
It's gonna evolve into something else.
No.
That's great.
So I took my son to. So this is a Mandela effect. Okay, so as we're going along this thing and we're switching the timelines, every time we believe more, we're switching those timelines. The scales of reality, right? I said a couple of episodes ago that we're now tipped. We're controlling reality.
Yeah.
And so the controllers know that, right? So they're going to throw everything at us. We got the war in Iran. We got the Epstein files. We got the UFO disclosure coming out soon.
Oh yeah, and we killed COVID, and now there's a new virus.
Yeah, they want to try to pull that. I already did not consent to that. As soon as I saw something like that, I just was like, I do not consent. As a matter of fact,
there's just going to be another one.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm on a group text with a couple buddies, and they're kind of 3D'd out of their minds, right? So they texted the group like, oh, the hantavirus. Mm-hmm. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
The hantavirus, this and that. And I just said, make my day. I just responded, make my day.
Right.
And I think 3 minutes later, he said, oh, sorry, it was fake news. I guess it's not a big deal. I'm like, well, that's the fastest the 3D retreated in history.
Yeah.
That was a good one. I wish I could have do that. I wish I could have done that with the war, but I think we have. I think there's a ceasefire right now. Anyway.
Allegedly.
Yeah. The controllers are really throwing everything at us as we keep going up the Jacob's ladder here. And so we keep switching these timelines, and the big Mandela effects, right? The ones you guys have heard of, they're all out there. I think we covered one. What was it? Elephants have breasts now, and horses have mustaches. Anyway, what's going to start happening is what's happening to me. And I think all of you, the listeners out there, you're going to start seeing this too, is you're going to start having Mandela effects in your own personal life. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be striking. Okay. It's going to be very striking. And so one of these that happened to me recently, I took my son to Magic Mountain. He's 9 years old. He's obsessed with roller coasters. And when did I get obsessed with roller coasters? Maybe 11 or 12. Yeah. 13, because my parents wouldn't actually go to the amusement parks with me. They just dropped me off with friends.
Right.
So it took a little, but he's obsessed now. My wife takes him to Knott's Berry Farm. I've taken him to Disneyland multiple times. He finally he's been looking it up on the internet where the fastest, biggest ones are. So I took him to Magic Mountain. And as a kid, I went to Magic Mountain a lot. You and I went like at least once or twice.
I went there once.
We snuck out of the house and we,
that was a delight because we were poor, so I only got to go to Knott's Berry Farm when I was little.
Okay. Okay. So I saw someone coming up to the door, I thought. Anyway, so we go to Magic Mountain, and one of my favorite rides at Magic Mountain was this ride called Ninja.
Yes.
All right. And it's the first ride I ever went on where you're hanging, your feet are free, right. Your legs are free, and it's
less of a boxed roller coaster.
Yeah, you're just in a chair basically.
It's more like you're suspended.
Yeah, you're suspended. It's the track is above you.
Right.
And you're flying through the pylons and the trees.
Yeah, I remember the commercials back in the day.
It was killer. I mean, it's just... So I was telling him about it the whole time, going, I can't wait to go on Ninja. Meanwhile, there's a bunch of new rides that are way better than Ninja now. But still, Ninja's still there, and it's a real nostalgic feeling. So we go on a few of the new rides, and they were scary, man. These things... Tatsu. There's this one called Tatsu where you're like flying. You're strapped in with just the shoulder harness and like a belt. Uh-huh. Other than that, there's nothing in front of you. And you're like you're like facing the ground. Like you're flying like a bird. And it's and I'm just thinking the whole time, like this.
You're Superman.
The chest harness. Yeah. I was thinking I'm dead man because if the chest harness just unclicks, you're gone.
Yeah.
And it's a 200-foot drop. Boom. I was freaked out. I told him I can't go on that one again. Anyway, we finally get over to Ninja. It's on the top of there's a hill in Magic Mountain. It's like you go way up. It's called Samurai Summit. Yeah, Samurai Summit. So I get up there and I'm telling him all about it. He can't wait, right? So we get to the front of the line and Ninja rolls up and I'm looking at it and there's a car. It's a car. It's still suspended from the top. The track's still on the top, but there's a car in front of the seats now. So you have a floor you put your feet in.
Yeah.
Your legs are in, so you're not flying through the pylons anymore. Your legs aren't.
They're not
free.
dangling.
They're not dangling. Right. Thank you. And I'm going, what is this? So it's our turn. We get in there. We're supposed to get in the ride. Instead, I call over one of the attendants. I said, hey, what's the deal? When did this happen? Well, I had to put my backpack on the other side before I got in. So real quick, I asked one of the attendants, hey, what's going on here? I remember this ride was, free floating with your legs strapped in just like a chair with the harness. And he goes, yeah, I remember maybe about 4 years ago it was like that. And all of a sudden this supervisor comes over with the headset. And he goes, I don't even know how he heard the question I asked the attendant, but he comes running over and he goes, no, it was never like that. Like out of nowhere, like over my left shoulder. I'm talking to the attendant in front of me. This guy comes running over. Running.
Yeah.
Like you overhear us. He was 8 feet away. I mean, I don't know what. So anyway, he comes running over and he goes, no. It was never like that. It's always been a car. You must be thinking of Scream. And I go, no, I'm not thinking of Scream because Scream didn't exist when I came here.
Right. This was back in the 1900s.
He goes, you must be thinking of Scream. That's the one that's, dangling feet, this and that.
No.
I go, no, Scream didn't exist. And he goes, all right, we got to get on the ride. I'm like, all right. So I get on the ride and it wasn't as fun. I mean, it was, you're dangling, you're suspended on the track, but you're
in a box.
You're in the car,
right.
Like a normal roller coaster. So anyway, we get out and Truth had, my son's name is Truth. Anyway, he got out and he goes, let's go to the next ride. but I'm kind of really weirded out by this whole thing. I've been on this ride so many times. So I said, hold on. I text my friend Paul, who I've known for 42 years. And I went to Magic Mountain a bunch with him. And I said, hey, man, Ninja. Remember Ninja? He goes, yeah. And he says to me, I didn't even tell him. I go, Ninja. We just got off Ninja. He goes, oh, yeah, that's the one where your feet are dangling. Your legs are out, flying through the pylons. I go, yeah, that's what I thought. But apparently it's just a car now. And he goes, oh, I wonder when that changed. I go, I don't know, but I got to go on the next ride. Will you look it up for me or whatever? He goes, yeah. So Sunday night we go on a few more rides, and he texts me back. He goes, I'm looking at everything, and apparently, it was never dangling. It's always been a car you put your feet in. Right. And I go, what? So I go on AI. We're waiting in line for another ride. Colossus.
You're tripping out.
Yeah, I'm tripping out. I'm like, wow. So I go on AI and I go, hey, Grok, Ninja, the ride at Magic Mountain. It's, suspended, dangling. Your feet are out, your legs are out. And Grok comes back and goes, absolutely. Ninja's always been that type of a ride, and it is currently in 2026. And I go, yeah, no, it isn't. And I uploaded a picture that I just took after the ride. And Grok says, my mind is officially blown. When did this change?
Yeah.
And I go, can you look up when it changed? He goes, I can't find anything, on the internet that says that it's ever been changed. It should be like that right now. So I go on, we're still waiting in line. So I go on there and I pull up Google images of Ninja the Ride.
Right.
And it pulls up some YouTubes and a couple pictures from 1990. And it's the car, no open leg, no dangling feet. So I go, my gosh, here we go. This is a Mandela effect.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're in this ride Colossus, and there's this kid in front of us. He's about 14 or 15. And he starts talking to us, and he goes, hey, you guys having fun today? Et cetera, et cetera. I go, yeah. He goes, yeah, my dad's too scared to go on these rides. Or no, my dad brought me here. I go, yeah, how old's your dad? He goes, 49. That's how old I am. I go, yeah, has he ever been here before? He goes, no, this is his first time. I go, darn it. He goes, why? Why do you ask? And I said, well, I wanted to find somebody my age that went on Ninja when it was, when I went on Ninja, it used to be open leg, open feet, no car.
Yeah.
Dangling. And the kid, he's like 14, 15. He goes, oh yeah. That's how it is. That's exactly how Ninja is. And I go, oh, so you agree with me? He goes, yeah, absolutely. And I go, that's funny because I pulled up a picture from I go, apparently it's never been that way. I pulled up a picture from 1990 and it shows a car. It's never been dangling. And he immediately changes. It just changes and goes, oh yeah, no, it's never been dangling. No, like Batman or something. It's never been dangling. It's always been a car. And I go, I said to him, but you just agreed with me that it was. And he goes, no, I'm sorry. I was trying to figure out what you were saying. And I go, oh. And then he just stops talking to me and turns around and faces forward.
So he was confused. It was just a misunderstanding.
My son taps me on the waist and goes, hey, Dad, like wants to whisper something to me. And I crouch down there and I go, yeah, what's going on? He goes, that was really weird. That kid definitely knew what you were talking about. And once you explained you saw the picture, he changed his whole story. And I go, yeah, that was really weird, right? He goes, yeah, it was really weird. And I go, thank you for noticing.
Oh, okay.
And so immediately I start thinking, Agent Smith type stuff. Mm-hmm. Like when you start noticing, okay, so when you're shifting these timelines with your beliefs and you start noticing the glitches and noticing the inconsistency with the reality that's reshaped in front of you, you're going to have these Agent Smith types. I've talked about this on previous episodes that are going to try to get you off your game and try to convince you that, oh no, you're misremembering because the Matrix.
You're in our Matrix.
Yeah, the Matrix doesn't want you to ascend.
Right,
okay, it's trying to keep you here. It wants your
Yeah.
divine spark here to generate their reality.
Yeah.
And so once I showed it, so he glitched out too, right? He was going to agree with me. He was going to give me more gas for my ascension, for my timeline shifting. And then he realized what time it was and just immediately, just like the supervisor ran over. How could he, what does he even care what I'm asking the minimum wage attendant?
Yeah.
About
How does he know what you're saying?
Right.
And why does he even care?
Yeah, and he was making sure other people were getting on the ride behind me.
Right.
So same with this kid. Why not just keep agreeing with me, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, so truly, go on Colossus. We had a great day.
Yeah.
And so we leave Magic Mountain, and there's going to be traffic on the 5 on the way home, right? I live in Orange County. Magic Mountain's in deep LA County. And so I said, hey, Truth, you want to go to my son? I said, hey, do you want to go to dinner? Lazy Dog Cafe across the street from Magic Mountain. He goes, yeah, let's go there. So we go to dinner over there, and this waitress pulls up and says, hey, can I help you guys? And she's maybe 24.
Yeah.
And I'm laughing. Truth and I are laughing about a bunch of different things, but especially about this. I start explaining what the Mandela effect is to him. And I go, I use Spider-Man, one of the new Spider-Mans. The last one, when it ended, he had to shift a timeline with the wizard. What's that guy's name? Dr. Strange. Yeah. So in order to, the end of that last Spider-Man movie, he has to switch timelines. He has to shift timelines to a timeline where no one knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. And so the new movie coming out begins with him in this new timeline. He remembers, but no one else in this new timeline remembers that he's Peter Parker, Spider-Man, so he doesn't have his friends. So it was easy for me to kind of illustrate that to my son.
Right.
Because he's seen these previews. He remembers that last movie. And I go, so that's kind of what this is like as you're moving through, trying to get higher and higher to heaven, bringing the kingdom to earth. So the waitress, she goes, hey, can I help you guys? And so we're laughing. And I go, yeah, but I just got to ask you a question. I go, yeah, you live around here? She goes, yeah, I live locally. And I go, she goes, you guys did Magic Mountain? You're a little sunburned. I go, yeah, we did Magic Mountain. She goes, yeah, I've been there a lot, through the years. And I go, yeah, remember Ninja? Ninja the ride? She goes, yeah, one of my favorites. And she says to me, I said, do you remember Ninja the ride? She goes, yes, one of my favorites. It's you're strapped into the chest with just the belt, like in a chair, and you're free floating with your legs and feet. She said it, not me. I wasn't leading her.
Sure.
In the conversation.
Okay.
And I said,
same thing like Paul.
Yeah, right. I said, yeah.
Right.
I said, yeah, that's exactly right. She goes, yeah, I love that ride. I go, yeah, well, apparently, it's a car now where you put like a normal roller coaster. It's still suspended, but you put your feet in, you have a floor. And she goes, what? She goes, oh, I wonder when they changed it. And I said, yeah, well, I looked up a picture from 1990 and it's always been a car, apparently. And she goes, what? And I go, yeah,
that's impossible.
She goes, what? She's really confused. And I go, yeah, it's like one of these Mandela effects. And she goes, oh, the Mandela effect. Yeah. And I go, like mirror, mirror on the wall, but it's magic mirror. She goes, yeah. No, it's always been mirror, mirror. I go, yeah, thanks. And I go, so I told her briefly about the kid in front of us in line and the supervisor. And I go, trust me, it's just NPCs. Non-playable characters trying to get me off my game because I'm recognizing it. She goes, oh yeah. She goes, NPCs. She goes, sometimes I mess with my friends. We have weird interactions like at Trader Joe's and stuff. Just the other day, I had a weird interaction with my friend. And I said, I told her, some of these people aren't real. They're just part of the simulation. That's what the waitress is saying to me.
No way.
Yeah. And I go, oh yeah, absolutely. I call them Agent Smiths or NPCs. She goes, yeah. And so she's laughing. She goes, but I assure you that I'm actually a real person.
Yeah.
And I'm here to take your order. And I back you up 100%. It was like that in the old timeline. And I'm like, hey, thank you very much. So anyway, we order our dinner and go along our merry way. So and it's one of the only Mandela effects that AI will agree with. Every other one will try to sell you on your misremembering.
Oh, right.
This is the reason you don't remember.
We're back.
Anyway, what were you saying?
Right. I was saying, wasn't there Mandela with peanut butter, with Jif and Jiffy?
Yeah, Jiffy peanut butter.
Right.
Yeah, the Mandela effect it's always been, look, when I was growing up, it was Jiffy.
Right.
It was Jiffy.
Okay.
And now it's Jif.
So I was watching this episode.
And it's never been Jiffy.
Password.
Uh-huh.
Have
really?
You heard of that show?
Yeah, Password. Yeah.
Where they gave you a clue or something and
yeah.
you're supposed to.
You were watching this on the Game Show channel or something?
Last night, randomly.
Isn't this an old TV show?
Yeah, but I think they brought it back because Jimmy Fallon was on it.
Okay.
And one of those other nighttime
right.
talk hosts. Right. And so they give him a clue. and I think it was Skippy or something, maybe. Anyway, this girl, this partner with Jimmy, was like, Jiffy. And he's like, lube? And everybody's laughing. And then they go over to the next person, and they get it. Right. It's Skippy or something. But then Jimmy's looking at her like, Jiffy. It's Jif, right? And she's like, I don't know. It's supposed to be, I thought it was Jiffy.
Oh, so it was happening live?
Yeah.
On Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
On Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
On Past, where they brought back Jimmy Fallon
Just
as the
last
host.
night, yeah.
Wow. And she said Jiffy.
She
Because
said
peanut
Jiffy.
butter,
Yeah.
Skippy.
Yeah.
She said Jiffy.
Right.
And then he stopped. Meanwhile, he didn't need to stop the show. So he stopped the show and said, isn't it Jif? And she goes, no, Jiffy. I remember it as Jiffy.
Yeah, she's like,
And he
She's
just
like,
dropped it?
I don't know why his kid said Jiffy. I don't know. It was trippy.
It was.
It was trippy.
Yeah, that's Mandela.
Right.
And they didn't talk about that. They didn't.
No, they skipped over, and then there's another clue.
Oh, wow. There it is.
Yeah, it was really.
That's
kind of
happening.
trippy.
No,
Yeah.
but that's key point that you're watching that and that happens. That's confirmation.
Real
Okay?
time.
That's synchronization.
Right.
That's the universe sending you a wink and a nod of love. That these things aren't scary. Again, I want to reiterate. The more your reality changes, it's because you're changing it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's trying to fall back in place as quickly as possible. And it just can't. And some of these blocks are freaking falling apart.
The scales are tipping.
The scales are tipping, and we're in control. So anyway, that one was really good. So you're going to have your own personal, Mandela effects. I've got some other ones. We'll save them for a future episode. Okay. So spiritual evolution, and it goes hand in hand with hitting rock bottom. It's one of our favorite sayings. I think I came up with it, and then Tim and I just ran with it. Tim was telling me his story with sober living and getting sober, and didn't you just have your birthday? Your sober birthday? You're 8 years sober now.
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. I know it's near Mother's Day.
Yeah,
So
Mother's Day.
it's 2 days from now?
It was Mother's Day 8 years ago. It was Mother's Day on the 13th.
Oh,
And
okay.
so this year it's
the 13th.
Wednesday. Yeah,
Okay.
it's the 13th.
So there you
Yes.
go. Hey,
Well, I'm not there yet.
congratulations. Oh, right. It's one day at a
One
time.
day at a time.
Well, wait a
Big
minute,
dog.
Code.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were watching the kids. You saw some. You saw some painkillers in the. Is he testing me? You're so weird. You're
it
so
was
funny.
just trippy.
Anyway, hitting rock bottom is the fastest way to the top. Is the fastest way to get up Jacob's ladder, or at least start on it, right?
Yeah.
And so,
At least to be awoken.
yeah, to look for a different way to go forward.
Mhm.
Is there something more than this?
Well, yeah, it's about humility and humbling yourself to the Lord, right? When people are really down on their luck, that's when they're more open
When
to-
you've
to
just
receive.
failed, when you've just failed multiple times
at everything.
at everything, nothing is working. Because
Nothing is
you're
working.
using the levers of the matrix to get things to go your way, to do the right thing. You're trying to use the levers, and the levers are just Disney.
It's just self-will run rampant.
It's just Disneyland
Your
levers. Like
ego.
you're like, oh, this is really the princess's castle, and then you go in and no door opens.
running
There's
like-
only one. It's breaking. You know,
Right. Yeah.
It's not any levers you can actually pull, and you're going, well, wait a minute, right?
And
so,
then you realize someone else is pulling them.
yeah, they're
Thy will be
they're-
done,
yeah,
not yours.
right. And if you're trying to pull the levers, the controllers are pulling yours, and you're eventually just going to have to hand it over.
Man, when I hit rock bottom, dude, I was so open to suggestion from anyone else other than myself. Because at that point, I had ideas about lots of things and they were all wrong.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, even crossing the street, anyone other than me, everyone else's idea would be better than mine. So I was just like, finally willing to take direction.
Why did the chicken cross the road? To get to the other side. Now, initially when you hear that, you think he wants to cross the road and get to the other side of the road, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what's funny. It's a stupid joke, but no. Why did the chicken cross the road to get to the other side? The other side being the spiritual dimension. He knows he's going
Right.
to get hit by the car.
Yes.
That's what, to get to the other side, to get to heaven. Why did the chicken cross the road? To get to the other side, meaning the spiritual side. That's what the joke is supposed to be. But we all think it just means it's a stupid joke to the other side of the street.
Right.
Does that blow your mind?
Yeah.
We're just crossing the street. And now here we are.
We're all trying to get to the other side.
And here we are.
Yeah.
Oh, we're on the other side.
It's a bunch of chickens.
The scales have tipped. Hitting rock bottom. So, I mean, you hit rock bottom physically, spiritually, emotionally, and intellectually. I hit rock bottom intellectually and spiritually, with my religion.
Right.
So the intellectual and the cosmology that I was told didn't really match up, right? The Jesus thing, it was almost like a break glass in emergency.
Yes.
You would use Jesus when break glass for emergency. Then you pray, then it works.
That a lot.
Yeah,
we
right.
did that a lot when we were kids.
And it worked. But I don't know why we're not doing it, every day for when there is no emergency.
Well, I do now.
Yeah, I do. Right. So, and then we go through the scripture, and that's what he's basically telling you. Don't, you can use this, for the emergency, but why do that? Why not believe now and quit giving the 3D all of your power?
Yes.
So hitting rock bottom is the fastest way to the top, because when you're at the top in the 3D, the levers seem to be working until they don't, right? Until one of them breaks, and it will, and so we can go through scripture and we can look at all the major characters, from Moses to Joseph to King David and to finally Jesus. All of them hit rock bottom, right? Moses hits rock bottom right away, right? He's just a baby. He gets sent off into the river, and then, luckily for him, he drifts, and the Pharaoh's wife picks the kid out of the river, out of the basket, and says, "Oh, I want to raise this kid," not knowing he's Jewish, and then he becomes, high up. Well, I mean, he's the Pharaoh's son, the Pharaoh's wife's son, until he kills one of the guards and goes on and then has to flee in the whole thing. So he hits rock bottom, and then he hits a few more rock bottoms too, right? He tries to get the Jews out of Egypt. He does that, and then they have to go to the promised land, and there's giants, and he has to do this whole thing. So he's hitting rock bottom multiple times. And does he ever
Just fail after
does
fail.
he ever reach the top? I think he actually passes away before they even get to the promised land. So we love you, Moses. You're a cutie. Okay, then we got Joseph and his brothers, who they're completely jealous of this guy. This guy, Joseph, is the greatest dude in the world. Really kind guy.
Oh, yes.
And his brothers are so jealous of him. They throw him in a hole and leave him for dead.
Joseph was well built and handsome.
Wow.
That's what it says in the
Wait a
Bible.
minute.
Yeah.
Hey, I like that. He was well built and handsome, huh?
Yes.
Well, color me pink. That's no wonder his brothers hated him. I'm
Right,
starting to
right.
feel jealous myself. He gets tossed in the hole.
Yeah.
And goes on a whole adventure, figures his way out, ends up becoming the king, and then ends up forgiving his brothers, and doing the right thing, and has a bunch of abundance, and rules the kingdom really, really sweet. So he hits rock bottom, but it's his own brothers that throw him that way. And there's more examples, right? But then you have the ultimate example, which is Jesus. He's doing great. The master himself doing great, doing the miracles, got the disciples, and then he hits rock bottom, right? He gets arrested. He's put up next to the murderer.
Mm-hmm.
The people, even Pontius Pilate is like, Pontius Pilate's wife has a dream, like, don't do anything bad to this guy, Jesus, man. He's legit. Pontius Pilate goes, oh my gosh, I can't do this. I don't want his blood to be on my hands. He asks the crowd, what do you want to do? You want to let the serial killer go? Or do you want to let Jesus? And they say, let the serial killer go, crucify the master. And so Jesus gets up there. He does his whole thing. I mean, that was real sad. So he, does his thing. But then he's resurrected 3 days later. The stone is rolled away. And then, he's the physical. He demonstrates who he is And we went over that, right? He's teleporting. He's shining white. Angels are coming down to the women. Whole thing going on.
He ascends.
Yeah, and then he ascends at the end.
I kind of feel like that's where we're going with this. You have to hit rock bottom to ascend?
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah,
I mean,
you have to hit rock bottom to ascend, to even get on this road. And what does that mean? That means the rock bottom is the
spiritual.
3D. It doesn't have to be, right? Yours was physical.
Right.
That which opened you to the spiritual.
That's true.
Right? And then you and me were kind of going back. I wasn't like pushing anything on you, right? I hadn't even hit my intellectual rock. I've always been kind of an esoteric type of Christian, but I was still kind of locked into my little box.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of went on this thing together, and you were so open-minded, and then you started doing the program, and the big book has a lot of the master's teachings wrapped in that, the esoteric type.
Right.
The deeper meanings behind them.
Sure.
The ones that where you are empowered, right? Instead of you empowering. He doesn't need any help he's God, right? The master doesn't need any help being who he is.
Yeah.
Right. You know, he doesn't need your prayers.
We're
He doesn't
the
need
ones
your,
that need the
yeah.
help.
We need the help. So he was empowering us. That's the whole point of this. Right. And so you either going to hit rock bottom physically, or you're going to hit it intellectually, or you're going to hit it spiritually, right? Where whatever spirituality you are is just, it's roping you in, whether it's witchcraft and you got to get the eye of Newt with the right herbs to make anything happen, or whether you're the Buddhist, which, it's just kind of, you just transcend, you don't let anything affect you, which is a lot of what Jesus said, but Jesus is also pointing to, you have a lot more powers than just that too. Collectively, we can move the mountain. Whereas the Buddha's like, just be the mountain. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That can box you in too. So, and then you've got the mainstream Christianity that can box you in, where it's suck your thumb and pray for death. And you're going to have a great life somewhere down the road after you're dead. That's not going to work either. So, you can hit rock bottom financially, right?
Yes.
You've used the 3D. You went to the college. You went to the school. Blah 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 blah. And then eventually AI takes your tech job away, and now
you lost your wife.
Yeah, right. Or now you don't have an
She's
identity.
sleeping with your boss.
You don't have an identity. Your kids are grown. And
it's all about being broken to a point of surrender.
Yeah,
spiritually.
I don't see any evidence.
It's more about faith and belief. Too. I mean, that's you're more open to that.
Yeah. And you can go two ways, right? That can lead to, you can be nihilistic if you get broken, if you hit rock bottom, and you can go, nothing works.
That's true.
I've tried all the levers.
Yeah.
I've tried all the 3D gives you spiritual levers, right? It gives you, with all the different Abrahamic religions and all the different fake new age type stuff.
Yeah.
We've gone over, the CIA developed it. And you've got the physical levers, right? The gym, you can do all these other things, right? And then you've got the financial levers that makes you think that you've done everything right. And all those, so any of these break, and that can be everyone's rock bottom is different depending on what they value.
Exactly.
And so I have yet to see a situation where you don't hit rock bottom.
Really?
To be open-minded. And it can go one of two ways. You can be nihilistic and say none of the levers work, so why even bother? And you get suicidal, which is really sad, or you go on depression medication or something like that. But that's also you trying to pull another 3D lever to help you out.
Right. Taking shortcuts.
Yeah, there's no shortcuts. There's no shortcuts. It is, you have to let go of the 3D completely, which a few episodes ago we had that episode, The End of Fear. And this is kind of in line with that. So you get your spiritual evolution, it's stagnated. And this is my own story, was my spiritual evolution got stagnated by my religion, right? The pastors, the different sermons I would hear. You go into the church and you're spending 4 months in Corinthians, you're spending another 4 months in Romans, and then you're spending another 4 months in Ephesians, and then the year's over and you've got no words in red. So in case anyone doesn't know, when you're reading the Bible, the Gospels, right? Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, those are the actual accounts of what Jesus said and did. And if you just go off that alone, you're good to go. I mean, that is, you get some good context out of the other books and things. However, all you really need, what's a joke? All you really need is Matthew, right? at the end of the day. No, but
Right.
they're all good. But the point is, I go to church, I go to the sermons, and we're either in the Old Testament talking about Moses for 6 months, or we're in the New Testament and we're only dealing with Paul and his books and what the disciples did after Jesus ascended. And we're not spending any time in the words in red. And the way I think of it is, shouldn't we always be in the words in red? I mean, shouldn't it just be, you should go to church and it should just be red, 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 red. I mean, if we have his actual words,
Right.
why aren't we just studying those? Like until we're blue in the face, until we can recite them like I can. Like, I have a pretty good memory, photographic memory of the Gospels at this point. Maybe I can't say the actual book and the actual verse, but I can tell you the story, what the overarching message is, just about through all of them. And I think that's and those are the most empowering parts of the Bible, at least on what you can do today, at least on what you can do right now.
Yeah, and apply it to your daily life.
Yeah, he gives
the
you
Beatitudes and stuff.
He gives you the instruction book on how to tip the scales.
Right.
And 2 or more are gathered, right? And there's a lot more than 2 right now. Listen to this show, for instance.
Yeah.
And that's how we tip the scale, right? It's that collective consciousness. And so I have this great example.
What's that?
If you open up the Bible app, and you go to New King James Version.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Okay. You go to New King James and you go to Luke 9.
Okay.
You go to verse 46. All right. And it says, who is the greatest? All right. And it says, then a dispute arose among them as to which of them would be greatest. And Jesus, perceiving the thought of their heart, took a little child and set him by him and said to them, whoever receives this little child in my name receives me. And whoever receives me receives him who sent me. For he who is least among you, all will be great. All will be great. Or he who is least among you, right? And so he's not saying, so he's putting the child next to himself. And so the child is least, not because he's a child, it's because he's the weakest. He doesn't know a lot, right? He doesn't know the cosmology. He doesn't know the way the world works yet. He's very vulnerable,
Right.
but he's also the greatest. Why? Why is the child that's sitting next to Jesus? First off, where did Jesus just grabbing children and setting him next to him? Yeah. That's real sweet. But at the same time, I'm going to be like, how long has this guy been around? Where'd my son go? He's sitting next to.
We're all his children.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, he could have been grabbing an adult male,
and saying, this child.
This is child, right?
Yeah, right. But he grabs the little child. Whoever receives this little child in my name receives me. And whoever receives me receives him who sent me, right? My Father's in me and I am in you. For he who is least among you, all will be great. So it's because this child is not connected to the 3D. It's not all in on the 3D.
Yes.
That's what makes him great. I mean, clearly.
Yes, and I do believe that that's probably why he says we all need to return to childlike.
Right, which goes
to enter the kingdom.
Correct.
And it's really about dispelling the 3D.
Dispelling your beliefs.
Right.
You've got to look at this thing like a child. And I remember growing up, I can't remember a time when I didn't believe in the master. And I even remember in elementary school, I was school was very challenging, especially back in the 80s. The teachers it was a big deal. No one even cared if you were bullied. I mean, it was like Fight Club. I mean,
the teachers were bullying you.
I mean, the teachers are bullying you. Your bullies are bullying you. I mean, it was Fight Club, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was. I mean,
Fight Club.
The only people nice to you were the little girls, and they didn't want to play with you, but they were nice.
Yeah.
So you've got to be like this, right? So that's when my faith. I remember people would ask me. I remember teachers were shaming me, like, "How do you think you're going to make it in life? You're not going to make." Like in 4th grade and 2nd grade, they were shaming me because I just wasn't getting on board. And I said, "Well, Jesus is going to make sure." That's how. And they'd just be stunned and looking at me. They didn't know what to say, because what are they going to say? They're going to say something mean about the Lord right
Right.
to me.
Right.
Like that. I was saying those things to my to my teachers, principals,
Yeah.
anyone that was like,
Right.
you're such a screw up. How do you think you're going to get anywhere? And I'd be like, because Jesus is going to make sure of it. That's how. That's what I, right?
That's a W. Dude.
Yeah.
That's
For he
so
who is least
good.
among you, all will be great. I wonder how they're doing. No judgment.
No judgment.
Okay. So then the next part of this, Jesus forbids sectarianism. To get back to the original point of how religion boxes you in. I just did a little rabbit hole on that one. That was a nice little. Anyway, next part. Luke 9, verse 49. Jesus forbids sectarianism.
Yeah.
Now John answered and said, Master, we saw someone casting out demons in your name, and we forbade him because he does not follow with us.
Okay.
And Jesus said to him, do not forbid him, for he who is not against us is for us.
Nice.
So if you're not against him, you're for us. But meanwhile, the disciples are sitting here going, they're getting jealous. They were walking around. They heard someone using Jesus' teachings to get rid of, the demons, which could be all types of 3D things.
That's interesting because that's, I don't know why, but for some reason I had heard if you're not for us, you're against us.
Yeah, so if you go to
But that's wildly different. If you're not against us, you're for us.
Yeah. Yes. So George Bush back in the day. Yeah. The main thing, the one you've heard throughout your life is
If they're not for us, they're
against
us.
Yeah. It's exactly right. That is your common, it's a common
Mandela.
saying. That's a common saying
It is.
in the
Okay.
3D.
But that's not the original saying.
No, the
is
original-
if
yeah.
You're not for us. You're not against us.
You're on
for
our
us.
side.
Yes.
That's a total inversion with
Way
the 3D.
different. Radically different.
Yeah. How did that one get famous? And the actual one that started the whole thing?
Is more loving.
But no one's heard of it.
I know.
This is something.
Crazy.
This is something you go to church for 30 years. They never point to this.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. Okay, because, well, one more thing. So a Samaritan village so he says the disciples getting jealous. Hey, what the heck's this guy doing?
Right. He
Do
can't
not-
be doing that.
Yeah, he can't be doing that. He's not even with us. Hey, do not forbid him, for he who is not against us is on our side. Clear universal law right there.
Yes.
Declaration, a statement. Then next scene, a Samaritan village rejects the Savior. So here we have a village that's rejecting him.
Yes.
Now it came to pass when Luke 9:51. Now it came to pass when the time had come for him to be received up that he steadfastly set his face to go to Jerusalem and sent messengers before his face. And as they went, they entered a village of the Samaritans to prepare for him. But they did not receive him because his face was set for the journey to Jerusalem. And when his disciples, James and John, saw this, they said, Lord, do you want us to command fire to come down from heaven and consume them, just as Elijah did? But he turned and rebuked them and said, you do not know what manner of spirit you are of. You don't know what you're saying.
Right.
You're acting like the freaking Romans here. For the Son of Man did not come to destroy men's lives, but to save them. And they went to another village. Okay, so.
You got it backwards.
I mean, what is going on here?
If they're not for us, they're against us. No, if they're not against us, they're for us.
Right. That's this podcast.
Yeah.
That's this podcast.
Right.
You know, a zealot Christian would listen to heresy. What's he doing?
Oh, yeah.
But clearly.
Any other sectarianism?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, sectarianism.
Yeah, any one of those.
Yeah. They'll tell us we're going to hell. We're
Right.
heresy, all these things. But meanwhile, I'm casting out demons. I'm moving mountains. Or we're trying to, right, with our listeners and everything.
Exactly.
And then the very next scene, so you have the one that says this guy shouldn't be using your teachings without being with us. And he says, you're out of your effing mind. Don't do anything like that. Yeah. If they're not against us, they're for us.
Right.
And then the very next scene, a whole village rejects him because Jesus is a controversial subject.
So the village have enough believers.
The village isn't trying to say we don't like you, we hate you, or anything like that. They're just going, hey, look, you've been dusting up with the Pharisees and the Romans. Everyone's starting to hear about it. We don't want any problems. Go to the next town.
Sure.
The disciples are so flipped.
They want to burn them down.
Well, Jesus sent them ahead.
Fire.
They just sent them ahead, right?
Right,
Jesus sent
right.
them ahead. So they're basically the guys, they're knocking on the front door trying to sell the Avon, dude. They're trying to sell Avon. Hey, Jesus is coming to town. You may have heard of him. Well, you have heard of him. And we're going to do some miracles here. We're going to do some stuff. You're getting on board.
We
It's
got
happening.
some Jesus.
Yeah,
you interested?
yeah. And they're like, no, we're not.
No.
We're not interested.
Yeah, right.
I'm doing, I got 3 kids. We're right in the middle of dinner.
Breaking bread.
You're out of here. So these guys are like, dude, we got a bunch of no's.
Yeah.
They're trying to be salesmen. They're getting no's. So they're pissed. They come back and they go, hey, these guys are saying, Lord, do you want us to command fire to come down from heaven and consume them? I mean,
What?
do you want us to command the laser beam to incinerate these people?
Yeah.
Just as Elijah did? Jesus looks at them and goes, what are you, nuts?
Yeah.
Rebuke them. That isn't just, that's cussed at them. Or that is slap them down. You do not know what manner of spirit you are of. You're out of your effing mind.
Yeah.
For the Son of Man did not come to destroy men's lives, but to save them.
And then they
And
move
went
on.
to another village, but to save them. So not only did they not want any part of this because he's controversial, but Jesus still says right here, he's going to save them anyway. That village is going to be fine. We don't even have to go to that village. Isn't that interesting? So,
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a great, so if you go to church and you hear these two stories, you're going, well, hey, looks like we're on board. This is good news.
It's great news.
This is good news. We don't have to rebuke the guy that's not fully on board with whatever I am, a Catholic, or whether I'm an Episcopalian, or whether I'm just a Calvary Chapel, right? It doesn't matter. If you're on board, you're on board. And not only, you don't have to actually be on board, just if you're not against him. If you're not against him, you're for him, right? And
Yeah.
then if it's just too much and you just can't handle it, don't worry. The Son of Man did not come to destroy men's lives, but to say, that's a great, now this is something that the Christians could really, this is good news. This is why people knock on the door, I would think. However, if you go to your Bible app, so you're in Luke 9, New King James Version, and you switch to the New Living Translation, which is what all the mainstream Christian churches use these days. Okay, you just tap that and you go back down to that verse. It's gone, baby.
Really?
It's gone.
It's not even in there?
Nope. The opposition from the Samaritans is not in there at all.
Oh.
The village, so don't stop him. Anyone who is not against us who is not against you is for you. That's
Right.
there, but it's
Yes.
still changed.
Yeah.
It doesn't say us, it says you. Us is much more inclusive because he's including himself. Okay, but the Samaritans, the verse 51 that we just read
Yeah.
about you do not know what spirit you are of.
Right.
You're out of your freaking minds. The Son of Man came to save, not
Let's
destroy.
burn them.
Yeah, for people that reject him, that's gone. All the words in red is gone. So
What?
you go from New
How's
King
that?
James, you go from New King James Version, and you switch over to New Living Translation, which is what everyone's using in churches these days.
Right.
And the words in red have disappeared. They're just deleting Jesus. So, I'm going to these churches. So you spend 6 months, you spend 4 months in Corinthians, you spend 4 months in Romans, you spend 4 months in Ephesians, and there goes your year of church. You get no words in red. And as a matter of fact, the Christian church is deleting words in red.
That's strange.
Well, it's strange because it's one of the most inclusive messages
Yeah. And
in
empowering.
the New Testament.
Yeah.
And it's spoken by the master himself. And that's where that's where the spiritual evolution can get stagnated. How does it get stagnated? Just like this.
Taking out words in red.
Yeah, it keeps you in a box. Keeps you in their box. And then the words in red are deleted. And the disciples wanted to do all types of stuff. They cast down fire. They wanted to incinerate these people. You do not know what spirit you are of.
What a faithless and perverse generation.
It's right before that too. It's still in Luke 9. In Luke 9, right
We're
before all
just a
that.
faithless and perverse
So
generation.
that's funny you mentioned that because right before those two stories I read you, that's the story. The disciples are screwing up, and the Lord's like, "You guys are just a bunch of morons. You're faithless and perverse generation.
Yeah.
How much
Up on
longer?
up on the mount.
How much longer do I have to be with you?" And then immediately they start screwing up again. Which we love the disciples screwing up because they're us. Right?
Well, hey, you got to hit rock bottom.
Yeah, right. And they're hitting rock bottom. Hey, this whole, the Gospels are the journey of the disciples hitting rock bottom constantly.
Yeah.
Right? He's doing the miracles right in front of them, and then like the next day they're just forgetting and pretending it didn't happen or doubting.
Yeah.
Even, right? Even Tom. I mean, they're all just doubting constantly. Even Peter's walking on water and it starts sinking.
Yeah.
So as you're going on your spiritual evolution and you're shifting the timelines and the scales are tipping, don't let that 3D rope you in, man. Don't let the Mandela effects get you off your path or scare you. You need to embrace them because it's the proof that the reality is changing and you're doing the changing. And how are you doing it? Because he is in me and I am in you. And that's how it's working.
It can seem very confusing sometimes.
Yeah. It can seem, but you just take the purple pill and all of a sudden,
right,
it's illuminated. You're good to go.
How many? You got some more of those?
Yeah. This is our 53rd.
Some pills.
This is our 53rd pill.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think so.
Let's
53
go.
or 54. All right. I guess that's it. Next episode. I got some more stuff up my sleeve here. I was going to play a clip, but we're 50 minutes. I think we're good.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
To be continued.
Yeah, we love you. We're gonna try to do another 5 weeks in a row here. That's what the goal is.
Let's shoot for 6 or 7.
Yeah, let's do 10. Right, 6 or 6, 7.
That's too much.
All right, we love you guys.
Yeah.
See you next time. Bye bye.
Later.